there, and welcome to the Animag podcast.
Hey, and what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Animag, the #1 podcast in your mother's Spotify playlist. Baby, how are you? I'm your host, Asylum, sitting here with...
Domicus. What the fuck was that intro?
What, bro? You don't think people's moms listen to Animag, the #1 podcast?
Maybe.
100% they do. I can guarantee it. Money back guaranteed. We're moving right along, guys. Today we're talking Orange episode 10, and this is going to leave us with only 3 episodes left in the season. I'm getting excited, baby. Let's get it out the way.
Yeah, I thought a certain little part was going to happen this episode, but I guess it's going to be either the second to last or next episode.
Now, I will say... for this particular episode, we have conflicting ratings because Thomicus is throwing this up there. He's putting it on a pedestal, and I'm kind of keeping it mid-tiered, bro.
I like it.
I'm not saying it was bad. It was good, obviously, but I just feel like nothing major happened.
Yeah, nothing major happened, but like, it's showing you how hard they're trying to save Kakeru. Because, last episode he was down. We all learned that he was thinking about his mother.
I mean, yeah, but quite honestly, this episode was the first episode where they really did a lot to try and make sure what the letter said was actually happening. And they did a good job. They did change a lot of shit versus how it went down originally. And thanks to their letters, now they had a chance to get in there and kind of turn some shit around. They did a good job doing that in this episode, but I just feel like it was stale, man. Like, a lot more could have been added. And it's making me nervous because we're 3 episodes away from the end.
Yep. And the last episode's going to be longer than the usual episodes.
How jam-packed does this last episode have to be?
I don't know.
Dude. Also, I want to apologize before we thoroughly get into it if I sound a little nasally on today's episode. It's because I think Yaze got me sick. Even though he says he's not sick, he just lost his voice randomly. I think he got me sick, so if I sound a little nasally, that's why.
He's ate too much fish.
Oh, he had some bad fish, man. Bad fish will 110% make you lose your voice. So let's just dive right in, man. Right at the very beginning, we see the guys sitting and hanging out. This is at the rally race. Because at the last episode, I thought the rally race might have been done. They never really made it clear that this rally race was going to keep on going. So I thought they had finished. But apparently not. This whole episode happens at the rally race.
This is like the end of the rally race. Because remember, they have
that pole climb thing?
No, the last event is the relay.
Yeah, the relay race. That's what this whole big shit was about.
And the cheer. They had the cheer.
Yeah. So all the guys are kind of sitting around and the girls come up to them and they ask if the guys like their cheerleading outfits. And Sua and Hagita are like, no, not at all. And the girls are like, what? And they walk away. And as they're walking away, Sua grabs Hagita and he's like, did you see those skirts? Look how short they are. And then you just get a really short flashback here from Kakeru's childhood. And it's just him as a little kid running. And then boom, intro roll. Pretty short scene right before the intro credits again. We're seeing this again.
So far, no future scenes.
Exactly. Like, what's going on there?
We might see more in the future episodes.
Hopefully, because, man, they got 3 episodes to pick it up, and I'm getting very nervous. So the girls are doing their cheerleading competition. During it, Naho's kind of thinking in her head. She's noticing that Kakeru is acting a little weird. Now, remember, in the last episode, it left where Sua had asked Kakeru if he wasn't going to pursue Naho if he wouldn't mind if maybe Sua started dating her. So he kind of left that episode being really jealous about that. And we see Sua talking to the guys, and he says that he told his dad to get some pictures. He asked Hagita if he wants one of Azu, and he gets a little embarrassed, and he's like, I don't want one! And then he tells Kakeru that he can get one of Naho for him, and all he replies with is, yeah, cool. Kakeru is on this really big sad boy trip in this episode, and it's obvious that something is bothering him because even Hagita notices it. And for him to full-blown catch something like that, something's 100% happening.
After cheer competition, the girls change, and then they go to the guys, right?
Yeah, after the cheer competition, Naho's changing. She's kind of thinking to herself about when Suwa said things are moving in the right direction, and she's wondering what it means. This is like I said in the last episode. Things are moving in the right direction for who? Suwa or Kakeru? Because our reverse psychology thing was only just a theory. We don't know if that's really what he's doing.
It wasn't just a theory. It was an anime theory.
Is Suwa turning a leaf? Is he gonna turn into the bad guy?
Is he turning heel?
Yeah, I hope so. No, actually I don't. I really don't. So something happens and Kakeru and Naho have to go run some errands right before the rally was going to happen, right before the relay race was going to start. The rest of the group started discussing the letter and trying to figure out a way to not have Kakeru become majorly sad and blame himself if he would wind up falling during the race like the letter said he would. Hagita mentions that Kakeru hurt his leg and that he read it in his letter. It was something that he apparently noticed from his future self. His future self noticed this. So to me, that gives me the notion that not every letter is exactly the same and they do have some slight differences in them. Because right here, apparently Hagita has this information about Kakeru's hurt leg, but no one else does. So I thought that was a nice little interesting touch right there to have be in the show.
And I think in the future note, it was like he approached Kakeru about it and Kakeru is like, just please don't tell anybody about the injury or something like that.
Yeah, he asked him to keep quiet. So Kakeru and Naho were running their errand. Apparently they had to move some kind of a mattress. And they decide to take a small break and sit on it. Apparently there's no benches in this area, so they have to just settle for a fucking mattress.
The one episode that the bench is not in it.
It gets replaced with a mattress. There's not like a huge heart-to-heart scene here. Kakeru just says that Naho's mom seems nice, and then says that he has a feeling that Naho gets asked to do errands a lot, and that she can't say no, which she's like, yeah, I can't. Which, I mean, we pretty much all know this. Naho is kind of a pushover. I don't like to say it like that, but technically that's what she is. Right here, as they go to pick up the mattress, we get a glimpse of Kakeru being in pain with his ankle. And Naho notices Naho.
That's gonna be a fucking meme right here.
I have to leave that in. And then Naho notices him being in pain, but he says he's okay. You hear like a few footsteps coming from the distance, and Naho and Kakeru are looking at each other, and then you start to see some other hands grabbing onto the mattress. Boom, it's the rest of the group of friends. And woo! Suwa straight up says, "You're so stupid. If your ankle hurts, just tell us." And Naho seemed a little surprised by this. And she's like, "Are you hurt?" Kakeru asks how they knew. Because remember, he didn't tell anyone. They only knew because of the fucking letter. No one gives him an answer right here. Rather, they just ask if he thought that the meet was boring because of his attitude, how he's all sad, you know?
Damn, not answering the question, answering with another question.
Exactly. I thought, this is my thing. If I'm Kakeru and I ask this question, like, how'd you guys know? And it immediately gets blown off and another question's thrown at me, I'm gonna know something's kind of fishy here.
He should have said, like, oh yeah, I noticed that you was holding on to your ankle earlier. That's how it should have been.
Yeah.
Not throwing in another freaking question.
So they ask if he thought the meet was boring, and he says no. Why? And Azu says, because we all noticed that you seem a little down. And she tells him that they were just worried something had happened. Kakeru goes, oh, it's nothing, he blows it off, you know, just typical Kakeru fashion. But in his head, he has a flashback to the classroom scene earlier in the season when Suwa was telling him that friends talk to each other when something's wrong. Remember when he said he wanted to like jump out the window to be Superman, but we all know that that's not what he really wanted to do when he wanted to jump out the window?
Oh yeah.
He has a flashback to that scene. Kakeru then takes a moment. He's like, guys, I'm sorry, I've been lying. And right here, he winds up telling the whole group of friends that he lost his mom. He tells them all in person. And he confesses this whole thing. Maybe they do have a heart-to-heart here at the mattress, but they're just not sitting on it anymore. They're all kind of holding it, which is also kind of weird. I don't want to be standing here holding a mattress and have this guy pour his fucking heart out to me, you know?
They go, oh, I feel bad for you. They let go and it just drops on freaking Kakeru's fucking ankle.
Hurts it even more. He's like, it's typical sad boy Kakeru. He's gonna have a moment here. He starts confessing that he feels guilty for having fun, you know, because his mom's gone. It's a whole fucking thing. And the group goes on this big fucking speech towards him saying that he should be enjoying himself and having fun because his mom is probably looking down on him. And they all say how they worry and care about him. So why wouldn't his mom, despite where she is, also be doing the same thing? You know, she is his mom at the end of the day. Regardless of what has happened to her, she definitely should still care about him. So she's probably watching. And then Hagita says, Suwa can't stop looking at Kakeru. And then he's like, man crush.
That was my favorite part.
And Suwa's like, shut up! Dude, Hagita's fucking hilarious.
I love Hagita.
I really do like his character. So they all kind of throw Naho under the bus right here. And they say, if there's anyone that cares about Kakeru out of the group of friends the most, it's her. They're saying this like to Kakeru in front of Naho. And they say that she has been worried about Kakeru and she's a complete wreck. And she actually winds up growing a pair of tits here. And she goes, yeah, it's true. I have been worried about you and I am a wreck. That's a very proud moment for me right here because this girl never does stuff like that. We've only seen her do this once or twice.
She's finally gotten out of that shy state.
I think it's going in the right direction for that, man. So they convince Kakeru to get his ankle checked out and it winds up being spranged, alright? He gets it wrapped and everything. He was definitely hurt. I'm assuming this happened when they were doing the pole climbing thing.
I want to say so too because that's the only event that he was in.
Exactly, the only thing he did. Yeah. And despite the doctor saying that he shouldn't run, he says that he can and he will still run in the race. Whew. Big nuts, bro. Big nuts.
That's my boy!
So Kakeru and Naho have a little moment here before the race starts and they switch headbands for good luck. And again, this is another moment where I thought it's kind of a proud moment for me as a watcher, as a viewer, between me and Naho, because at least now she's kind of starting to do small things that she knows Kakeru will appreciate and she knows will also help boost his mood.
I love how they did the bet with Hagita, if he passes 2.
Oh, yeah. So after the group hurdle, they have like a little hurdle, you know, boost everyone's spirits. They're all stretching and getting ready to race. And the girls are talking to Azu, and we hear about a promise that Hagita and Azu made. Ooh. Now, keep in mind, Hagita's slow as fuck, alright? He's not a good runner.
Oh, yeah.
But if he passes just one person, she will give him some bread. And then Takako's like, yeah, what kind of bread? And then Takako asks Azu if she's sure that they aren't dating rather than just hanging out a lot to practice for the race. And then Hagita yells, we are not going out! I feel like Hagita is realizing the only way to get his point across to the group at this point in the show is just to start yelling full speed at everybody.
Yeah, but I love Hagita.
After Hagita screams, we're not going out, Suwa asks, why not? So I feel like the group of friends is really pushing for this to also happen. They know they got a mission to get Kakeru and Naho together, but I feel like low-key, they're all wanting to get Hagita and Azu together.
I think she likes him.
I definitely think she likes him. Then someone asks what would be in the deal if he passes. 2 people.
2 people. Ooh.
And they ask if maybe him and Azu would start dating. And guess what Azu says? She says she could easily do that. And then you see Hagita get all embarrassed. So like she's 100% down to date him right here. She literally made that clear by saying, yeah, I could easily start dating Hagita if he passes 2 people. Thought that was interesting.
Which makes Hagita embarrassed.
Yeah, Hagita gets all embarrassed and fucking it's like whatever. Then the group tries to make a wager for Kakeru and Naho that if he finishes in first place, she has to kiss him.
But Kakeru doesn't. Suwa
gets to kiss.
Yeah.
Man, she gets all shocked.
Which makes Kakeru want to win even more because he doesn't want Suwa to get the kiss.
I mean, that's a little sleazy on... Again, this could just be the reverse psychology shit. But if it's not, that's really sleazy on Suwa's part because he knows Kakeru has a busted ankle, right? I feel like that's taking candy from a baby, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
If he gets hurt, we know Naho is going to go in there first aid, heal it up, wrap it up.
Naho's hearing all this going on, and her eyes are just fucking huge, right? Picture that. Her eyes are full-blown wide open, and Kakeru is like, wait, hold on. And pretty much for the rest of the scene, her eyes are just fucking like massively wide open. She doesn't say a word. She's just in shock. Oh.
Oh my god.
And then the race starts. Boom. Sua is absolutely fucking kicking ass. He's like, motherfucker, I'm getting this kiss. He was literally ahead of everybody. And then he passes the baton to Takako. She gets passed in the stint. She passes it to Azu. Azu gets passed a couple of times. And then it's time for our boy to shine, baby.
Oh, I was really cheering this guy on.
Hagita gets the fucking wand. He's a little slow as hell. The team does slip into last place because they said it on the announcer said it. And then he screams, fucking Dragon Ball Z style. Ah! Then he starts passing everybody up, bro. And you want to know what? Let me take a moment right here to say, and that is exactly what happens when you drink Alti, baby. Alti is a high efficient gaming supplement that you could also use to go and work out. You get a little curious? Go to altisubs.com and buy some and use code Animag at checkout for 10% off your entire order.
And if you want to end up like Hagita, you best drink it.
Exactly. If you want to start dating yourself and Azu, get you some Alti and drink it and go race everybody on foot. So finally, Naho has the stick. She passes it on because like the whole time, something I forgot to mention, it started with Sua. He had a message for Kakeru. So every time he passed the baton, he told the message to that person. He's like,
no, they didn't say it.
Did they not say the message? Yeah.
No, the first...
It was to not lose. That was the message. Because when Sua passed the baton, he said, tell Kakeru not to lose. And then they just kept that going. So when Naho finally has the baton, she passes it to Kakeru. She passes down that message that everyone else was also passing up from Sua, and it was to not lose. Then she says, we'll always be together, the entire group of friends. And I guess that's to also boost his spirits, because we all know he's a sad boy, right?
Even it's from 10 years from now, I want us all to be together.
They're really doing their best to just keep this dude happy in this episode and not have him get sad. And as Kakeru's running, we see a flashback of him as a kid, the same flashback that we saw from the beginning of the episode. It happened again. And that's about the most we get of that. So they really didn't need to put that in there. It was just him running as a kid. I felt like that was a little bit of just a time killer.
Where was Hagita's moment? Come on, you should have put Hagita as a kid.
We need more Hagita. That's the thing. I want a spin-off where it's just a show about Hagita.
Dude, because Hagita, I
That
love
dude's
character.
Awesome. He just like doesn't give a shit. He plays kind of clueless. It gets embarrassed easier, kind of down to earth. So the team actually winds up winning the goddamn race, okay? Now this is something that's a major change from what the letters had said, because the letters said they didn't win and that Kakeru fell. And in this race, he didn't fall and the team won first place. And everyone's congratulating Kakeru and Naho. Naho's just kind of standing there, kind of staring at him all nervous, because guess what? She knows it's kiss time, baby.
Kiss time.
And something that I was thinking about was one of the reasons that Kakeru may have not fallen was because they made him go and get his ankle taped up.
Yeah.
Because think about in the letters when it said that Hagita noticed it, but Kakeru said not to mention it. That means that Kakeru had to run with his ankle not taped up. Probably the reason why he tripped and fell. So again, dude, in this episode, they did a really good job at doing what the letter was asking them to do, just straight up. And after the race, Kakeru's grandma comes up and she starts talking about his race reminded her of his kindergarten race and how no matter how many pictures his mom took, he wouldn't smile. Then we see another flashback, flash forward. I think this one's a flashback to that particular time. And it's Kakeru's mom saying to, I guess, his dad that it's got to be hard having your parents divorced so young and how she actually ended up feeling bad about it.
Until the final photo.
But in the final race, he won first place and he finally smiled and that made his mom happy. And then his grandma says, I'm sure your mom is happy too. And Kakeru gets a little sad and kind of starts to cry. Obviously because she's making him think about his mom. And despite how much effort the gang's going to put in to make him happy, he's still sad about what happened to his mom. So like for me, his grandma being at that race, she's always on some bullshit because at the beginning of this track meet, rally race, whatever the fuck it was, she did the same shit to him where she talked about his mom to him and made him all sad. But regardless, she's like, I guarantee you your mom's happy and proud of you in this moment. And Kakeru's like, yeah, I really hope so. Pretty much towards the end, we see Kakeru go up to Naho and give her red headband back. But instead, he asks if he could keep it. Then he apologizes for how he acted in the previous episode during the first aid scene.
And admits that he was jealous.
Yeah, we called it, bro. And like I said, maybe this is all just a plan put together by Sua. That reverse psychology shit. You see, because, I mean, obviously it worked. He was jealous. So... they're talking, and she puts like a bandage on a scrape on his arm that he had, and she asks if it hurts. He goes, "Oh, not now." Then leans in, kisses her on the cheek.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Yeah, let's go. And then he says, "Oh, I had to get my reward."
Ooh.
Yep. And then just literally turns around and full speed just runs away. He's just out of there. And Naho's just standing there shocked, and she touches her face where he kissed her. I'm actually getting kind of a little bit of goosebumps talking about this. All right, so there's a major but here, okay? There's a major but. He runs away. Naho's just like in shock, and she's touching her face on the cheek where Kakeru kissed her. But then we see Suwa, who was kind of hiding around the corner. I guess he just didn't want to interrupt the moment because he knows what needs to happen. And he's holding on to some stuff, kind of looking sad, but kind of looking like he knew that needed to happen. Saw the whole thing go down. He saw the whole kiss and everything. But to me, he had a sad look in his eyes. So that makes me think, was this really, in the previous episode, was it a reverse psychology thing he was doing? Or maybe he's just full-blown being serious. Like, look, if you don't go after Naho, I will.
Now you're making me do like a reverse psychology and a reverse psychology.
This thing is starting to blow my mind because I want to say Suwa's a good guy, right? So in my brain, I go, yeah, it's a reverse psychology. He wanted to make Kakeru jealous because he knew all this would go down, and boom, gets to the point where now he kissed her on the cheek. Okay, that's what needed to happen. But seeing him look so sad, kind of hiding around the corner, watching this whole thing go down when Kakeru kissed Naho, kind of makes me think maybe this dude is just being serious about it all. And he's like, look, if you don't win the kiss, I'll get the kiss. Because think about this. Okay. In the other universe or whatever, wherever their letters come from, Suwa and Naho are together with a child. That makes me think that somewhere along the lines in Suwa's mind, he is being a little serious because obviously he liked her enough to have a kid with her in that other universe. I hope they clean this part of the story up because I want to know if Suwa's pulling this reverse psychology move or if he's being serious.
Maybe we'll find out on the next episode.
We only have 3 left, so we better find out soon. But overall, I guess not a terrible episode.
Hagita was the reason why I brought it up high.
Hagita was a big player in this one. I just didn't think that it had I don't know what to say, man, because like it has enough towards the end, obviously, with the big kiss scene, and then you see Suwa kind of looking on, all sad. It leaves you a lot to question. I feel like there just could have been so much more. And obviously there was a big moment. They had the mattress scene where he's telling everyone about his mom. He finally, 10 episodes in, finally telling everyone about his mom, the whole group of friends. I don't know. Yeah. I think I'm going to rate this a 6.
You better add +1 because that bitch wasn't in the episode.
Nah, it was going to be a 5. I gave it a +1 because the bitch wasn't in it. So it's a 6 for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Hagita. I'm going to give it a 7.
7? Okay. I thought you were going to go higher than that. I thought you were in the 8s, maybe.
Nuh-uh. It would have been in the 8s if I would have seen the bitch get ran over.
Oh my god. You know what? Something I was thinking about. We haven't actually seen her in like at least 2 episodes. Is she done?
We know she's not done.
She's not done. Okay. I thought the scene where the girls were like, y'all broke up, so just piss off. I thought that was the end of her character, and I'm like, what a shitty way to write a character off of a show.
Oh no.
Okay, so she's definitely coming back within the last 3 episodes.
Guaranteed she's gonna probably be in episode 13. I don't know, by 11 or 12.
Okay, so she's at the finale.
Yeah.
Fuck. Well, the finale's gonna get a low rating. No,
it might get a higher rating because...
You think? Oh, does she die?
No.
I'm gonna say this much. I do know how the final scene of this show plays out because Yaze spoiled it for me today.
That's it. If Yaze spoils another fucking podcast...
I also know he's out. I also know that they wind up showing Kakeru their letters. Not like reading them to him, but they do pull out. Yaze said they pull out the envelopes and like wave it towards him. But then I told him to stop. I was like, don't tell me anymore because this holds a lot of water for the podcast later on when I do see it. I kept mentioning it that they should just show Kakeru the fucking letters. So I'm excited to see how that plays out. So he did spoil some shit, but he did kind of make me look forward to the finale.
God damn it, Yaze.
Uh-huh.
One more time. One more time. on, and we're gonna put flyers out for a new janitor. So if you want to become a new janitor, be ready.
Join our Discord, man. We have a Discord. Go to the website and click the Discord button. It'll take you right there.
Yeah. If you join the Discord, there's maybe a 70% chance you'll be the new janitor of this.
Yaze does not understand the complexity that is us doing an episode by episode podcast, because he was going to spoil this for me weeks ago and I told him not to, but then today I was expressing my concerns with this episode, telling him that like a lot needs to happen within the next few episodes. He's like, I'm just going to spoil it for you, and starts telling me.
Oh, I would have slapped him. I would have been like, you're fired!
That's why he did it when you weren't around. He knew.
Because, like, if you spoil something, it just ruins it for the podcast.
Yeah, it does kind of ruin it a little bit because I know the layout of that finale, or the final scene at least. But in a sense, it did kind of help me because it did get me excited. I want to see it because I made him stop at talking about the letters and everyone showing theirs. I was like, stop. I don't want to hear no more because I need to form my own thoughts around it. I don't want to pull a him and watch somebody's shitty YouTube review and just say it's a bad show. I want to watch it and analyze it and say, okay, maybe this is good, maybe this is bad.
Yeah, in your own words and not take somebody else's credit.
Exactly.
Because, like, people have different tastes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he don't know anything about the show. He just watched a freaking 5-minute review on YouTube.
Dragon Ball Z!
Dragon shit! Well, that's pretty much gonna do it for this week's episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed. 3 left. It is getting close, baby! And you got our ratings, so you know what we're thinking about this show. And until next week, remember, take it easy out there and be safe, everybody. And so long.
Sayonara!
Thank you for listening. Be sure to visit our website at www.animag.org. See you next time.